Hello everyone and welcome. Today we are doing our transformation controls. This is our brand new feature from Divi. I'm really excited to show you what this feature is all about. But before we get started, please let me know if you can hear me loud and clear in the comments box below so that we get off to a very good start. Okay, I can see quite a lot of you are already tuned in. This is fantastic. We are live streaming on Facebook and also on YouTube. So here on Facebook, I can see we have John, Nikki, Surrender, Mario. Awesome. Good to see you guys. And also on Facebook, we have quite a lot of you tuning in. We have Agante from Berlin. We have Steve from Canada, Peter from Belgium, Caroline from Sydney. Awesome. Ratapuller from Spain. Also says loud and clear. That's brilliant. We also have Dries from Burkina Faso. Wow, I think that's the first time I've heard Burkina Faso on the live stream here. Victor saying hello, Mac. Good to see you, Victor. We also have Rajesh and Kasra from Portland, Oregon. Awesome. Rajesh from India. Have I left anyone out here? We have GMC Com from Scotland. Awesome. Adriano from Brazil. Wow, that's a lot of you tuning in. This is fantastic. So today, as I mentioned, we'll be talking about the brand new transformation controls that was released last week. This is a brand new feature. Now, this feature is a freehand design which allows you to transform elements on your page. Now, you're able to transform your elements by skewing, rotating, zooming in, moving. Now, these are the type of features you normally get in programs like Photoshop, Illustrator, and also Sketch. So it's fantastic to see that we have this now in Divi. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this feature. So what I'll be doing today is just demonstrating, how the interface looks and maybe give you a quick example of how you can use this. Now, the brilliant thing about this as well is you can also use hover effects on this feature. In fact, I'll be doing a quick demo to show you how the hover effects actually works. And also, if you want to read more about this feature, the link is in the video description below. So you can go ahead, read more about this feature. Okay, so before we get started here, I'll be working on my local Divi install. So this is where I'll be doing my demo. So I'll be switching back and forth so I can show you what we can do. Now, if you have any questions regarding this feature, please let me know, or please post your questions in the comments box below and I'll do my best to respond to those questions. Okay, so let's have a look here. There's also quite a few who have also joined us from here. Vladimir from Croatia, that's awesome. We also have someone here from Russia, but I can't pronounce the name. Monique, good to see you as well. George, awesome, good to see you. Frederick from France. We have Stephen from Australia. Wow, we have people from all over the world. This is amazing. Awais from Pakistan. Carol from Netherlands. Breathing Design from Newbury. Is this Newbury in the UK or this is somewhere else? We also have Renee from Hong Kong. Awesome, awesome. All right, guys, I don't want to waste a lot of your time. Let's dive in and let's get started. So I'm just going to switch over here to my main computer. Ooh, that's strange. Sorry about that. Anyway, so over here, the first thing you want to do is to make sure you update to the latest Divi, okay? The latest Divi install. Sometimes it may not show here, so what you may want to do is to come over here to updates, click on that, and this will show you if you have anything that needs updating here. So in this example, you can see here, I don't have anything that I need to update. Great, so let's start by creating a brand new page. So I'm just going to come over here and click on Add New. Okay, so we're going to give our page our name. So I'm just going to call this transformation. Okay, use the Divi Builder. So for the transformation feature, you can either use this on existing pages. You can also use it on pre-made layouts. So pretty much it works anywhere. Okay, so next I'm going to come over here to choose a pre-made layout because I think it'll be easier if we use a pre-made layout. That will save me a lot of time to redesign these layouts. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm just trying to look for something that I can just go in and quickly make some changes to. Okay, so I think we'll go with, let's have a look. Okay, let's go with this Wave Agency layout pack. So I'm going to select it and then click on use this layout. Right, I see a comment here from Adriano saying the transformation has stopped. Okay, I'll get back to that. Oh, we also have Reese from Birmingham. Awesome. That's where I'm actually based, Birmingham here in the UK. Awesome. Right. Okay. So I've got this page here that I just loaded up. So you know what? To make things easier, I'm just going to delete this top section here because we're just going to focus here on this row. Right. So let me demonstrate how these transformation works. So in fact, this works on rows, modules, or sections. So all you have to do is to come over here to your row settings, click on design, and you can see here we have a new entry on our list of design options, and it's called transform. So you can just click on that, and this is the brand new interface. But I won't be using this on the row. I'm going to use it on the module. Okay, so I'm going to come over here, and then I'm going to click on this little gear icon, go to design, and then click on transform. So this is where our feature is. So let me just start off by showing you how to enlarge this. So if I drag, you can see here as I'm dragging, this is getting bigger and bigger. Okay, so that's the expand. You can actually make it smaller as well. So that's really cool. Let's move on. In fact, let's set this to 100. Now, you can also do some basic transformations here. As you can see, when I was making this bigger, it was happening both on the width and the height. Okay, I'll just show you one more time. You can see that it's happening both on the width and the height. Now, let's say you want to expand this, but you want to do it to each side individually. So what you need to do is to break this chain, and then now you're able to just do the height, do the width. But note that because we have text in here, the text is also going to be stretched. So that's something that you may want to consider there. Okay. Right, so let's bring this back to normal. So I'm going to set this to 100, and then set this one to 100 as well. Okay. Oops, I need to go back in here. Transform. Okay, so that's how we can do that. Now, the other thing that you can also do here in this interface is to move things around. So you can see when I click on the second tab here, I can actually move this around. See? That is really, really, really cool. So that means that if you want to specifically move items around, you can just go in here and just drag it closer to elements, further from elements. You know, you can drag it to the bottom and so on. Okay, so that's really cool. Let's move on to the next one. Now over here, this is where you can do even more interesting stuff. So this interface actually shows you visually how you can play around with these controls. So first of all, this one here is the rotate. As you can see here, as I'm dragging, things are now rotating sideways. That's really cool. So you can also do it this way in this plane, like that. Okay, and if you move on to the last one here, we can also do this in 3D space. So these are all the features that we can use on our brand new interface here. For those of you that are just joining us, this is the Divi Feature Update Live. Today we're talking about the new Divi transformation controls. So we're just doing a quick demo and seeing how we can use this in our designs. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So in fact, let me reset this so I can show you the next one. Okay, right. So the next one here is the skew. So we can also play around with this and skew our design. I really like this, by the way. It's one of my favorite. So again, we can skew this, in different directions, like that. Okay, so we're going to undo that. So let's say you want to actually use this in a practical way. There's few things that I need to mention, and that is do not go extreme with these designs, because with these transformations, because this can actually mess up the way things actually look on your website. Because with this blurb, you can see that with the text inside, it stretches the text. So I would actually use this with caution, or if you want to use it, just use it slightly. Don't go too extreme, because it's just going to make things distort. However, now you can also use this with hover and hover states, which means you can animate these states. So I want to show you quickly how you can animate this. In fact, before I do that, before I continue, I'd like to respond to, I think it's Gaio, saying this transformation is not useful, I think. Well, I beg to differ, because when it comes to design, there are so many ways that we can design our elements on our website. And in most cases, let's say you wanted to add, let's say, an image, or let's say a monitor on your screen as a design element, but you wanted to, to be skewed, you would have to go into Photoshop to do that, and then come over and do all that. Do all that design in Photoshop, and then bring it over to Divi. So this feature now allows you to do all of that in Divi itself. So it's just an extra tool. It's this extra tools that you can actually use in your design process. So in my opinion, I think this is a good design. Of course, it's not a design you want to use crazy, but it allows you to have that option if you wanted to do so. Now, if you were to take a look at the code, the CSS code that you'd need in order for you to achieve this, it'll be crazy. And this is why being able to design this visually, I think is fantastic. Right. Victor says the transformation also available for buttons. Yes, it's available for all modules, sections, and rows. So it actually works everywhere. Right. So let's go in and let me show you how to use this. So let's say, in fact, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and start from scratch so I can show you a few things that we can do here on this design. So I'm just going to go in here and again, I'm going to come over here to my transform. So let's say you want to add a subtle animation onto our design here. So right now it's on 100%. So I'm just going to drag. In fact, let me go to my hover options. So on hover here, the default is 100. Okay. Now on hover, I want to actually scale this up a little bit to about maybe, let's say 112. Okay. And then I am going to just make sure that it's working. Okay, great. Right. So I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to publish, and we're going to do a quick review. Now you notice that I only made just two changes onto this, right? So let's exit the Visual Builder. Okay. So now look at that. We are able to make a quick hover effect using our transform tools and also our hover states. So that's a quick way of just going in and adding a zoom on hover. And I think this is really, really cool. Now you can even go in and add some shadows if you wanted to. There's so many ways that you can play around with this. Now there is also a layout which I want to show you, which I think was really cool. And I guess they used something similar to this to achieve that layout. So I really have to look for it. So just bear with me. Let's have a look here. So this layout had things which were showing at an angle. Now, if I'm unable to find it, I can just try and recreate it for you, so you can see what it looks like. It's 3 mobile phones which are aligned at an angle. So let's see if I can find it. Right, looks like I'm unable to find it here. It's going to take me longer than I expected. Okay. Oh, in fact, here we go. So you see a design like this. In fact, let's click on use this layout so you can see it. Okay, it's just going to take a bit of time here to import this. There we go. So this is also something that you can achieve with these transform tools. So as you can see here, you come with a normal image, and then you can just align this, make them look totally different in a different plane. So this is what I was talking about, that you can actually go in and make your own custom designs, and you don't have to go into Photoshop, you don't have to use Illustrator and any of these tools. So this is actually one way that we were able to design something similar to this using these transform tools. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go back to that design and make a few adjustments to the design as well, just to show you what else you can do with this. Okay, so I'm just going to click on use this layout, and then it's going to re-import again. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in here and try and set these design these at a different angles. So I'm just going to go in and do this to the first one. So I'm going to come over here to transform. So with this one here, I want to use rotate. Okay, so I'm going to go with that angle, about 13. Copy transform styles. Then I'm going to come over here. Paste transform styles. Has that worked? Yes, it has. We're going to do the same here. We're going to paste the transform styles. There we go. So now I was able to just go in quickly and add all my my blurbs at an angle. So now I can go in as well, and perhaps I may want to move these. So let's say I come over here to transform. Let's go to the move one, and now I can move. I can move these closer like that. Save that. I'm going to come to this one here, and let's move that closer as well. Okay, and as you can see, this is just quickly doing this on the fly using our new transform tool. So now that's a pretty much a new design. So all I have to do now is to just go in and add some padding to this. So I'm going to come over here to design, spacing, and I'm just going to add top and bottom padding just to give this some more breathing space. Okay, just like that. Okay, so as I mentioned, you would have to go into Photoshop. If these were images, you would have to go into Photoshop, align them in Photoshop, add them on a transparent background, and bring all your design elements into Divi. But you see, with this, I mean, you can simply just go in and make those quick transformations. Okay, so I can see there's a lot of comments here. There's a lot of questions. Let's see what's going on here. So I'm going to start here with reading the comments on YouTube. Right. Can we get a feature where we could move the elements anywhere, like in Canva? Actually, you can use these. You can move these elements anywhere on the page. So it doesn't really. I mean, you can. I mean, pretty much. You saw how I used the move tool. You can actually move these elements on the actual page that you're designing. So it's you can actually do that. And this question was from Kasra. Okay. Ratabula says, I think this transform controls should have an option to select if the selected image is placed in layers. Now, I totally agree, but I think in this case here, if you wanted this on the top, you would need to use Z index. So you just go in and apply your Z index to the CSS. Right, let's have a look here. Yes, Ratapula, I get your point here. I can see your second comment. Yes, instead of adding the Z index, if we could just do it in layers, on the actual design, on the actual page, that would really much better. I totally agree with that. I agree with you on that. Victor says the zoom on hover is so cool. It looks so clean and flexible. Absolutely. So this transformation controls feature, I mean, you can do quite a lot with this. And to be honest, I'm really excited with this. Let's have a look here. We have a comment here from Julio. Okay, Julio here is responding to some of these questions. That's fantastic. Let's have a look here. Tospedia says, how can we move the left hand? Yes, Tospedia, you would have to use a Z index in the CSS to place that on the top of the other one. And I'll see if I can do this for you as well. Away says, will this affect the website speed? I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think it will affect the website speed because these features here, it's CSS, so it's highly optimized when all these designs are put together. So I don't think this will really slow down your website. I'll be worried if this was a plugin that we were adding onto Divi to achieve these transformations. So I think it wouldn't affect the speed. However, I will do specific tests to see. But I've also tested some of these features before as they were added to see if this slowed down the website. But it didn't really have an impact. Okay, so moving on here. Adriano says, can I move this differently on mobile? Yeah, actually, yesterday when I was playing around with this, in fact, let's go in and let me show you. Right, so for mobile, if I come over here and let's go to design, transform. Right, so you notice we still have this little tab here for our mobile devices. So if I click here, if I go to tablet, okay, we can see here in tablet, we can actually, resize, make it bigger and so on. We can, move things around. So you can specifically have this the way you want on different mobile devices. So that when people visit your website on a desktop or a mobile, you can have this, however way you want it for those specific views. So yes, I would actually go in and make sure that things look great in the desktop, tablet, and also on mobile phones. Amit says, is there any update on the header too? The header and footer updates, they're on their way. Right now, we're releasing these features, step by step, but I'm not really sure exactly when the header and footer updates are coming, but they are part of our schedule, so they're definitely going to be released very, very soon. Ritik says, I'm a high school student from India. I want to design my website using Divi, but being a student, I really love your unlimited lifetime plan, but it's expensive. Any discount you offer? Actually, there's a 20% discount right now as we speak. Go to elegantthemes.com. We're celebrating our 11-year anniversary. It's 20% off, so go ahead right now. In fact, this was great timing. Go ahead to elegantthemes.com. There is our 11-year anniversary. Okay, sometimes these features don't work properly on desktop, tablet, and mobile, even after. It could be that they were some bug issues, which we tried to fix quite a lot. In fact, we've been quiet for quite a while in terms of releasing features. That's because we're working on bug fixes. So we've pretty much covered quite a lot of them, but if you go in and try now and make sure you're running the latest update, Divi update, you will find that these features or these bugs were actually fixed. So give it a go. If you have any issues, let our support team know, and we'll go ahead and fix all those bugs. So for those of you that are just joining us, this is the Divi feature update live. Today we're talking about the Divi transformation controls. This is a brand new interface, brand new feature that allows you to scale, rotate, skew, move, enlarge elements on your website. This works on modules, sections, and rows as well. Fantastic feature, and also it works on you can also animate these elements on hover. Okay, can we disable this feature on yes, you can also disable this feature if you wanted to. All you have to do is to go in and make sure that that section does not show on mobile devices or whatever device that it is that you want to disable it on. Okay. Yes, Breathing Design says, hi Mac, what about the featured WooCommerce update? Yes, these updates are in the pipeline, so they will be released slowly. So far, we've done 2 updates in a row, so I'm hoping that this is going to be the trend to release all these updates as they come. But all these features that we've promised everyone, they will be definitely coming out, including the WooCommerce one. The only thing that I don't have right now is the timeline or the dates when these features will be released. But I can tell you for sure that all these features are going to be coming out. I'm also really waiting for them as well. Right, let's take a look here. Ratapula says, shared your streaming on Facebook and Twitter. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. We'd like quite a lot of people to see all these features and be able to go in and use these features on Divi. Monique says, very helpful for those who are not up to speed with Photoshop. Yes, absolutely. In fact, you know what? I've been using Photoshop for so many years, and the program has become so powerful that you can design amazing designs with it. But let's say you're a designer and you just want to go in and just make basic edits. I mean, you are greeted with this massive interface, which needs a learning curve to actually find out what you're actually doing in Photoshop. So the advantage of this is now we have the ability to make these changes in Divi itself. So one, it saves you money to buy the Photoshop subscription. So you can just go in and do things in Divi. So this is why I'm really excited about this. And the more features we get that allow us to do all this, I mean, it just gives us all these design options that we can play around with. Right, let's take a look here. Okay. Right, so this feature is out as we speak, so I would highly recommend that you go ahead, update, and start using these brand new transformation controls. And also we'll be doing some tutorials on this feature itself, just to show you how far you can go with playing around with this brand new feature. So keep an eye on our social media channels, and you will see quite a lot of tutorials coming through. Right. Right, Julio, is it Julio? I think it's Julio saying, so far so great. A layer view will come in super handy with the new controls. Yes, absolutely. Venus IT Solutions, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Right. Ratik says, I know about 20% offer. Actually, I'm alone and all my incomes are used on study. Right. In that case, Ratik, why not go for the yearly subscription? Once you've taken on the yearly subscription, what I would recommend that you do is with all these tutorials and all these features that we have out there. I'm not saying this, don't get this wrong, I'm not telling you what to do, but one way you could do is you could buy the yearly membership. In that whole year, you can design 4 or 5 websites for for clients or for anyone that wants a website design. You could charge them a little bit of money to that, and that could go towards your your lifetime membership, because there's a lot of a lot of tutorials out there that can show you how to create a basic website. So what you could do is you can start approaching small businesses or anyone that wants a website. I'm sure you can find people around there that you can ask around if they wanted a website designed. So I would go with the 20% discount, buy the yearly membership, and then try and design a few websites that would raise money to purchase your lifetime membership. Because to be honest, these are the two payments plans that we have for elegant themes. So I hope that helps. That's all I can come up with right now. Right. Julia also says, Ratik, I can also confirm 100% you can get your money back with your first job. Yearly is a great way to start. Fantastic, yes. Please, guys, this tool, Divi, you are able, there are design agencies that actually use Divi to run their business, just using one license. So this Divi theme is very, very powerful. It's powering hundreds and thousands of websites out there. So do try and explore ways of making money with it. Don't just use it on your own websites. Try and, expand, try and design websites for even like your local clubs, people that and then this can expand to even small businesses. So definitely, Julio, I totally agree with you. This can actually, you can make your money back with the first website. And average websites, to be honest, even if you're a beginner, you would charge at least, $100, for a website if you just starting out. But of course, you can charge, as much as you want, depending on your experience. Okay, so guys, for those of you who are just joining us, this has been the new Divi transformation controls that allows you to scale, rotate, skew, and enlarge elements on your website. So for those of you that joined us late, this was going to be on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube page. So go ahead and just quickly watch that. I wasn't unable to go into crazy designs, but I just wanted to show you basically the new interface, what you can do with it, especially, subtle elements like the hover effect where you can just zoom in or skew. So these are elements that you can start adding onto your website right away. So I highly suggest that you go ahead and update to the latest Divi. All right, guys, I really have to go. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you spending some time with me today on this Divi feature update. So tune in again next week, same time, and hopefully we'll be talking about another brand new design, brand new feature. All right, guys, have a great rest of the week, and I'll be seeing you soon. Take care.